hunt in the Pacific Ocean. Once again, here's our senior reporter, Mr. Sandy Hoyt.
Charlie, thank you very much. And here in the inner harbor of Victoria, British Columbia, divers are getting ready for a dramatic undersea hunt. They're on the dock of the Victoria Undersea Gardens. Today, these divers are going to hunt for one of the Pacific Ocean's most interesting and awe-inspiring fish, the wolffish. But first, they have a visit from one of the friendlier creatures of the sea, a big-eyed harbor seal. Meanwhile, the hunt preparations continue as all the diving equipment and supplies are loaded onto the boat. The little harbor seal is taking full advantage of the dinner being handed to her. After all, it's much easier than catching the fish yourself. Every rope and tank and piece of equipment is carefully checked as it's stowed on board. And a special wide-mouthed capture bag is among the supplies. A wolffish can be as much as 8 feet long, and they'll need the big bag to hold it. Finally, everything's on board, and they're on their way. They're going to head out of the inner harbor and around the tip of Vancouver Island. This is the first leg of their journey to an old abandoned wreck out in the ocean. It lies right at the edge of a rocky ledge where the land drops off into deep water, and the old vessel makes a perfect home for the fish they're hunting today. They know the wolffish finds his food in all those handy holes and corners. The divers are happy and hopeful as they set out. It's perfect weather for a dive, and they know that their hunt has every chance of success. As they round the breakwater, they can see there are no huge waves crashing on the rocks today. Just a gentle swell glinting in the sunlight. See that marker buoy on the left, Charlie? It serves two purposes. It marks the end of the deep water as a warning to incoming ocean ships, and it also marks the spot where the old wreck lies on its rocky ledge. And that's where they're heading. There goes the anchor chain. And now the dive can begin.
Yeah. You think it's going to hold position in the wind right around here? Oh, yeah.
As the men start to get ready, they're thinking of the strange creature that they're going to try to capture. Named the wolffish, he's also known as the wolf eel, because he's so long and snaky he really doesn't look like an ordinary fish at all. A full-grown male measures 8 feet in length and can weigh 20 pounds. He has a huge, hungry mouth filled with 4 rows of strong, flattened teeth. A wolffish feeds mainly on starfish, crabs, and sea urchins, crunching them up whole, shells and all. And at last, the men are ready. This is the capture bag, long enough and strong enough to hold a full-grown wolffish, if they find him. The divers use the marker buoy lines to pull themselves down to the wrecked ship. It's an old abandoned ship that sank here many years ago and has been acting as a sort of man-made reef for all sorts of sea creatures. They have sighted wolffish here before, and this time they intend to stay down until they catch one. The divers carefully explore the surrounding rocks and start to look inside the wreck itself. They don't know it yet, but a huge male wolffish is very near. And then suddenly they see him. Just a glimpse, Charlie, before he moves off into a better hiding place. The divers move after him quickly, but as suddenly as he appeared, now he's nowhere to be seen. the wreck, they come across a brilliant sun starfish, its multitude of orange arms clinging tightly to its perch. The divers move in for a closer look. But they're still watching for the wolffish. At least they're sure now that he is in there, somewhere. And hang on, here he comes. It's a full-grown male, all right, nearly 8 feet long from that blunt, menacing face to the tip of his undulating tail. The divers move very carefully. You have to know what you're doing when you handle a wolffish. Even though the wolffish could bite right through that heavy glove, the diver scarcely hesitates to reach out for him. They almost had him, but he squirms loose and tries to hide. The divers grab again, but they can't hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our news director, Mr. Charlie Chimp.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've lost the rest of the story. I know it's in here somewhere. I just had it a minute ago. It's the part where they keep trying to catch the wolffish, and I want to know what happens next. I can't find my script. Hey, Sandy, can you take the whole thing on your own, please?
Sure I can, Charlie. Remember the wolffish got away, and the divers were close behind? Now they're taking care not to lose sight of him again. They've got the capture with them, and they're ready to use it as they approach a colorful undersea garden of sea urchins that seem to form a protective ring of sharp spines around the hiding fish. Carefully, gently, with no sudden moves, the divers bring the wolffish toward the bag. Got him. The divers are very pleased with this fine specimen, but there's still a little point of tail sticking out of the bag. And Charlie, if you watch carefully, you'll see the wolffish pull it right in. Now the divers are ready to return to the surface with their prize catch. Wolffish live in the colder waters of the world, the North Atlantic, and here off the Pacific coast of North America. They're bottom dwellers, cruising along the ocean floor in search of the tasty crabs they like best. Even sea urchins are gobbled whole, shell and all, crunched into harmless bits by the double rows of grinding teeth. But from now on, this wolffish will be getting all his meals in the aquarium.
Oh, good bell. Good bell. Boy, this stuff is sick here.
Willing hands are ready to help as the divers climb up out of the sea. And they're careful to keep the capture bag held tightly closed all the way from the water up to the deck of the ship. They wouldn't want to lose the wolffish at this stage. At last, the wolffish is safe on board. But they must get him in the water right away or he will drown in the air. A large plastic pail stands ready, filled with seawater, and the subdued wolffish is gently lifted out of the capture bag into the pail. The strangest thing about the wolffish is his enormous head. It's blunt and rounded, like a monster in a nightmare. And even these men who have seen many wolffish can't resist taking another close look at him. But they're anxious to get their fine specimen back to the aquarium as quickly as possible. So they haul up the anchor and head back toward Victoria. safely in his plastic pail, the big wolffish is carried to his new home in the Victoria Undersea Gardens and simply poured into the big tank. And now, Charlie, you're going to see what a diver looks like from the fish's point of view. The diver's all ready to give the wolffish his first taste of aquarium room service. And here comes dinner. The experts know that the wolffish won't really accept his new home until he's eaten something there, so they hope he'll eat this tasty big crab. But the wolffish is suspicious and uneasy. This is a strange new place, and he doesn't trust anybody. Even when the crab is put right under his nose, he doesn't eat it. He's not interested. He just looks at it and then swims away. But the wolffish needs food to help him settle down. So the diver follows after him and tries to coax him to eat his dinner. The crab is offered once again, but the wolffish is still not interested. He gives it a blank stare, and although his mouth keeps opening, it's only so that he can breathe. He's just not hungry yet. The wolffish would like just a snack instead of a whole meal. So the diver offers him half of a small dead crab. And just watch what happens when he finally feels hungry. Now we see that huge, ugly mouth in action. Those jaws can open to a full 90 degrees, and the double rows of teeth make short work of even the hardest shell. Everybody's happy because now they know the wolffish has accepted his new home. Now watch this, Charlie. Those are bubbles that provide the oxygen to aerate the water in the tank. And now the diver takes a huge sturgeon for a walk. The distinguished-looking fish seems quite contented to move along beside the swimming man. This is one fish who is very much at home with everybody. From the viewpoint of visitors to the aquarium, the aerating bubbles are very pretty, but you can't see the fish. However, as the bubbles stop, the view clears, and the visitors get ready to watch a daily event, dinner time. They have a special way to get the fish to gather around. They use a triangle for a dinner bell, and as it's struck, its vibrations pass through the water with a message the fishes have learned to recognize. Small dead feed fish are pulled out of the bag and broken up into pieces, just the right size for the different kinds of fish. For obvious reasons, the container is called the goodie bag. A large greenling swims over right away for his share, and the viewers get a good look at different swimming and eating styles as the fishes move in for dinner. The diver takes another kind of fish for a walk. It's a stingray. Although this fish seems to be using wings to fly underwater, those are really fins. They give him a power and grace unmatched by any other fish. This dumpy little fella is a sea cucumber. He's actually related to sea urchins and starfish, although he doesn't look like it. And yes, this sinister-looking shape really is a shark. He's kept very well fed, which makes him a little safer than usual to have around. One of the most interesting animals in the tank is this giant Pacific octopus. Watch as his suction cups grip the glass on the window to move him along. The octopus is a big favorite as far as the aquarium visitors are concerned, and this is an especially fine specimen. His arms measure nearly 10 feet from tip to tip. Just to see the way he moves is fascinating. Watch as he gives a demonstration of his ability to squeeze through a small opening. He can pour himself into the open tank with no trouble at all, squeezing his bag-like body into whatever shape is most convenient. There's an elegant control in every movement, and in a minute, when one of his tentacles brushes against the sharp spines of a sea urchin on the wall, watch what happens. He snatches it back like someone who has pricked a finger. And how is our famous wolffish doing now? He's staring out over his own curled tail, resting after his big crab dinner. The diver coaxes him out for an after-dinner stroll and gets him to show off his snaky swimming motion for us. Once you see a wolffish, there's one thing that really stands out. It's that strange, ugly face. It's dull and savage-looking, with a cold, unblinking stare you will never forget.
Well, I'm afraid our show is all over for today. I sure had a good time. Hope you did, too. Do yourself a favor and go to the zoo. There might be a penguin waiting for you. And remember, I love you.